Nicolaus Copernicus. He developed the first heliocentric model of the universe in 1543. The geocentric models had been developed by Ptolemy. He only published his book on his deathbed. His heliocentric model began gaining acceptance in the late 16th century. Tycho Brahe. He wanted to prove the heliocentric universe and work out how to predict the actual positions of the planets. He was a Danish astronomer with a purpose-built observatory on the island Haven, near Copenhagen. He died suddenly in 1601, possibly through mercury poisoning. Johann Kepler. He was Tycho's assistant and used his observations of Mars to formulate his own laws of planetary motion. His first two laws were published in 1609 in his book Astronomia Nova, and his third in Harmonices Mundi in 1619. Kepler's laws. The first. Planets move in an elliptical orbit around the Sun, with the Sun at one focus of each ellipse. 2. Relates a planet's speed to its distance from the Sun. An imaginary line from a planet to the Sun sweeps out equal areas in equal intervals of time. 3. T squared equals r cubed, where t is the orbital period in years and r is the mean distance from the Sun in astronomical units. Galileo Galilei. In 1609 he used an optic tube, telescope, to make sketches of the skies. His discoveries: the Moon is not spherical but contains hollows and perturbations, mountains and craters. Venus has phases like the Moon and changed its apparent size on a timescale of weeks. And 4 satellites were in orbit around Jupiter: Callisto, Europa, Ganymede, and Io. Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton published his law of gravitation in his book Principia in 1687. The gravitational force of attraction between two objects is directly proportional to the square of the distance between them. This is called an inverse square law because if the distance between two objects doubles, the force is quartered. He showed that an object, e.g. a planet, moving under the inverse square law of gravity would move in an ellipse. Uranus's discovery. Uranus was discovered by William Herschel in 1781 using a homemade telescope from the garden of his house in Bath. He had been looking for faint naked-eye stars, and found one which appeared as a small disk. At first he mistook it for a comet. Subsequent observations led him to deduce it was a new planet, from determining it had an orbit. Ceres discovery. Ceres was originally thought to be an asteroid, the first to be discovered. It was discovered in 1801 by Sicilian astronomer Giuseppe Piazza, and in 1800 a team of astronomers led by Hungarian astronomer Franz Xaver von Zach assembled to do a methodical search for a planet between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. At the same time, Piazza observed the sky at the Palermo Observatory and noted a faint star had moved in position. He announced that he had discovered a new comet, but could not carry on observations due to illness and its proximity to the Sun. Later on in 1801, von Zach and mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss determined an orbit and confirmed the existence of the new planet. Neptune's discovery. A planet beyond Uranus was predicted both by John Couch Adams and Urbain Le Verrier independently in 1846. Which caused Uranus to wobble at times. Adams predicted an orbit and informed the Astronomer Royal George Airy, but no search was carried out. Le Verrier informed the director of the Berlin Observatory, Johann Encke. 2 of his assistants discovered the planet on their first night of telescopic research near the predicted position. They called it Neptune. Pluto's discovery. American astronomers Edward Pickering and Percival Lowell observed Uranus had further irregularities in its orbit, so they suggested, incorrectly, there might be a second planet affecting the motion of Uranus. An American student, Clyde Tombaugh, obtained their predictions as to where it was, and he located it photographically at the Lowell Observatory in Arizona in 1930. The planet was named Pluto.